You sit there behind your screen, and you believe you are the one who is looking. You believe you are the master of this room, of this life you have built. But I must ask you, are you? Or are you, perhaps, also the one who is being watched? By your own expectations, by the ghosts of your past, by the desperate need to be normal, to fit in. This persona you wear, the good employee, the reliable friend, the acceptable member of society, it is a necessary garment, but you have mistaken the clothes for the flesh. You have forgotten what lies beneath. And in that forgetting, you have built a prison, a very comfortable one, with all the modern conveniences, but a prison nonetheless. The walls are made of should-haves and musts, and the warden is a part of yourself you have never met. Today, we shall meet that warden. We shall descend into the cellar of your own mind. It is not a journey for the faint of heart. If you are ready to look into the darkness and discover the light it hides, then continue watching. But before we begin this descent, do me a kindness. Ensure you will not lose your way. Subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Think of it as fastening a rope before you climb down into the abyss. You will want a way to return for more light. The persona and the shadow. The first layer of your prison is the most visible. Jung called it the persona. This is the mask you present to the world. It is not inherently evil. It is a social necessity. A man must be a certain way at his place of business, a woman another way with her family. The problem begins when the actor becomes his role. When he goes home, removes his hat and coat, but the mask remains fused to his skin. He forgets he is ever anything else. This is the beginning of neurosis, a mind state of being at war with oneself. But beneath this mask, in the corridors just behind the stage, lurks something you have been taught to hide. This is the shadow lurking behind the comfortable, safe mask that you decide it is acceptable to make visible to the world. Your shadow is everything you refuse to acknowledge in yourself. Your rage, your pettiness, your secret desires, your primal instincts. Society told you these were bad, so you took this entire part of your psyche, locked it in a trunk, and shoved it into the attic of your mind. You pretend it is not there. But I promise you, it is there, and it is heavy and clawing at the door. The shadow does not disappear because you ignore it. It grows stronger in the dark. It leaks out in your cruel jokes, in your irrational dislikes, in the dreams that frighten you. You see your own hidden darkness in others, and you hate them for it. This is what Jung called projection. The fool who angers you so deeply is merely holding up a mirror to a part of yourself you still refuse to acknowledge. Integration of the shadow is nothing bad or shameful. It is one of the core human experiences that make us closer to our true selves. It is taking back the key to that trunk and saying, all of this in here is me. Your capacity for darkness is also the source of your vitality, your passion, your creativity. A man who has made peace with his shadow is no longer a puppet jerked about by unseen strings. The Anima and the Animus. But we must go deeper still, into the very foundations of the prison. For there are more ancient architects at work here than your personal history. We now descend past the personal unconscious, into the bedrock of the human psyche itself. Within every man there exists an inner feminine aspect called the Anima, and within every woman an inner masculine, the Animus. These are not biological, but psychic realities, inherited from the entire history of humanity. They are the gatekeepers to the deepest parts of your soul, and to what I call the collective unconscious, the vast, shared ocean of human experience and symbolism in which we all swim. Your anima, or animus, shapes how you relate to the opposite sex, but more importantly, it shapes how you relate to the world. A man with an undeveloped anima may be brutish, favors the logical and unable to connect or feel. A woman with an undeveloped animus may be powerless, unable to assert her own will in the world. To know this inner other is to achieve a profound inner marriage. It is to become complete within oneself. And at the very center of this vast psychic structure lies the ultimate goal, the sun around which these planets orbit. Carl Jung identified this as the self. The ego, the you think you are, is but a small island of consciousness in a vast sea. The self is the entire continent. It is the totality of the psyche, conscious and unconscious. It is the blueprint for who you are meant to become. The journey towards this self, this wholeness, is what Jung named individuation. This is a lot to contemplate, is it not? The mind is not a simple thing. The mind is the original quantum computer. If these ideas resonate with you, if they stir something in the depths of your own being, then share this video with someone you feel might also be on this journey. To share a key is to help another with their own lock. And tell me in the comments, what part of your own shadow have you recently begun to recognize? I am indeed very curious to read your stories. Do not misunderstand me. This is not about biology or the roles society dictates. These are primordial psychic structures, archetypes inherited from the entire history of humanity. They are the psychological residue of every encounter between man and woman, stored in what I have termed the collective unconscious. A man's anima, or a woman's animus, is first and foremost the gatekeeper to this vast collective unconscious. It is the bridge between the conscious ego and the deepest, most universal wellspring of meaning within you. When a man dreams of an unknown woman who fascinates or terrifies him, he is encountering his own anima. She holds the keys to his creativity, his capacity for relationship, his connection to the irrational and the intuitive. For a woman, the animus often appears as a group of men, or a single powerful male figure, who embodies opinion, logic, and spirit, the power of the word. But this inner figure is not always a benevolent guide. An undeveloped anima in a man can make him moody, effeminate, or ruled by his emotions in a chaotic way. An undeveloped animus in a woman can make her harsh, opinionated, and prone to give blanket statements what one might call possessed by the spirit. You see, when you do not consciously engage with this inner other, it operates you from the shadows, often with destructive consequences. The great work, then, is to court this inner figure, to converse with it, through active imagination, through reflecting on your relationships, and through understanding your projections. For you invariably project the image of your anima or animus onto the people in your outer world. You fall in love with the person who best carries this projection, and you often fall out of love when the projection lifts, and you see the real human being standing there. To withdraw this projection, to integrate the anima or animus, is to achieve a profound inner marriage. It is to become complete within oneself, no longer desperately seeking in another what you must find within. And at the very center of this vast psychic structure lies the ultimate goal, the fusion of the persona, the shadow, the anima, and the animus. Confront these aspects of yourself. Learn more about them. Integrate these aspects, and you will, without any doubts, become aware of your true self. The ego, the you think you are, is but a small island of consciousness in a vast sea. It is necessary. It is the center of your will and awareness, but it is not the totality. The self is the entire continent. It is the totality of the psyche, conscious and unconscious, personal and collective. It is the image of God within the psyche, the divine spark that is your unique yet universal essence. It is the blueprint for who you are meant to become. The journey towards this self, this wholeness, is Jung's true meaning of individuation. It is not individualism, which is a glorification of the ego. It is the very opposite. It is the ego humbling itself, surrendering to the greater guidance of the self. You see its symbols in dreams and in world myths: the sacred stone, the diamond, the philosopher's stone, the perfect geometric form of the mandala, or the flower of life. These are all symbols of the unified, centered, and indestructible self. The self is the totality of the psyche, conscious and unconscious, personal and collective. It is the image of God within the psyche, the divine spark that is your unique yet universal essence. It is the blueprint for who you are meant to become. The hero's journey within. So, you see, your life is not a random series of events. It is a myth in the making. Your suffering, your confusion, your conflicts, they are the call to adventure. Refusing the call is to remain in the prison, to polish the mask until it shines. All the while, feeling the emptiness grow inside. Accepting the call is to say, I will descend into my own cellar. I will face my shadow. I will speak with my inner anima, my inner animus. I will seek the self. This is the greatest hero's journey. It does not require you to slay dragons in the outer world, but to befriend the dragon within. It is the process of peeling away the layers of who you thought you were, to discover who you truly are. It is the alchemy of the soul, turning the lead of your base instincts into the gold of wisdom. The prison door was never locked from the outside. You have always held the key. It is the courage to look, to accept, and to integrate. The work of a lifetime is not done in a day, nor in a single video. If you wish to continue this work, to forge your own keys, then this channel is a lantern in the dark. Subscribe, like this video if it has served you well, and tell me what mysteries of the psyche you wish to explore next. For the journey to wholeness is long, and it is always better to have fellow travelers. Until next time, I urge you, do not be afraid of the darkness, for it is only in the dark that we can see the stars.